This is Baptiste. Ever since the start of Overwatch 2, he has had 7 skins, 3 legendary, and 4 of them epic. This is Kiriko. She's been in Overwatch 2 for the exact same amount of time as Baptiste. She has 20 skins, 16 of them legendaries, and 4 of them epic. Overwatch has a skin disparity problem. Let's talk about it. Now when it comes to the topic of skins not being distributed evenly, this is not a new topic in the slightest. This has been going on for about a year, and as far as I remember, this really ramped up when Revenger came out. However, skin favoritism has really peaked in Season 16 with the release of the Street Fighter 6 collab and Kiriko getting another skin. That got me thinking, just how poor is the skin distribution in Overwatch really? So, I did what any self-respecting person would do. I spent 8 hours of my day off from work making a spreadsheet for a YouTube video. Now when I say 8 hours, I genuinely do mean that. That's how long the research for this video took. So with all that said and done, I finally finished it. A spreadsheet of all of the skins that supports have received, minus the mythics. At the end of this, I found some really interesting statistics that I think people will be into. However, before I go into the rest of this video, I want to go over a couple rules. Number 1, this is only covering the supports. When people mention skin favoritism, Kiriko is almost always mentioned. So I figured what better way to see if this is true than to compare her with the other heroes in her role. Number 2, I'm covering every skin except for the base ones. Every hero releases with 4 different color variations, and in the case of Kiriko, Illari, and Lifeweaver, they release with 2 additional legendary skins as well as an epic. Instead I'll focus on skins that are available through the battle pass, the shop, or different challenges. Number 3, I will not be counting mythics in my research. The reason why I'm not counting them is because I feel like that would skew the data that I have set up, and this will only be apparent later. But number 4, I'm only counting the heroes in the seasons that they're released. The reason why I bring this up is because there is going to be a section where I go for averages, and I feel like that would kind of be disingenuous to count the 11 seasons that we didn't have Juno. Got the rules? Cool. Now we can finally get into the spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet, there are 4 different categories, and those have different categories within them respectively. Starting off first, we have skin data, which just goes over the numbers. Skin averages, which takes into account how long we have to wait for a skin on average. Skin droughts, which goes over how long it's been since we've gotten a skin from a hero. And skin streaks, which is the exact opposite of skin droughts. Now that I've spent entirely too long on an intro, let's get into the data. For skin data, there are 5 different categories: unique skins, recolors, total amount of skins, collaborations, and the last unique legendary, including the previous skins before that. While Kiriko isn't the only support with double digits, she is the only one to break 20 skins or more, 16 of them legendaries and 4 of them epics. I'm fairly confident if you asked Overwatch players who has the most amount of skins in Overwatch 2, majority of them would say Kiriko. Right behind her in second place is Mercy, with 10 legendaries and 5 epics. Much like Kiriko, this part of the graph didn't really surprise me as Mercy is another fan favorite. What did surprise me though were the heroes that came in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The third most amount of skins at 14 is Lifeweaver, 8 legendaries, 6 epics. This one caught me a little off guard, but at the same time I figured that Lifeweaver would be somewhere in the top 5 considering how many skins he's gotten recently. 4th and 5th place surprised me a little bit as Zenyatta has 13 and Moira has 12. To be honest, I didn't really think about how many skins Zenyatta had, nor Moira for that matter. I wasn't even confident in the fact that they would have double digits. Zenyatta has 10 legendaries with 3 epics, while Moira has 8 legendaries with 4 epics. There's a 3-way tie for 6th place, as Ana, Brigitte, and Yari all have 10 skins. Ana is perfectly split down the middle with 5 legendaries and 5 epics, while Brigitte and Yari both have 7 legendaries and 3 epics. This just leaves 3 more supports, all of them with single digit skins. Lucio is in 9th place, 4 legendaries, 5 epics. And Bap is not doing so well either, with just 3 legendaries and 4 epics, totaling to 7. Juno being the most recent makes sense for the fact that she has 5, all of them being legendary. However, for being the most recent support, it shouldn't be this close down here. Bap and Lucio are unique in the fact that they have more epics than legendaries. Going into this honestly shocked me, because it feels like Lucio's been getting a lot more skins recently. However, that leads to a perfect transition into our next category of recolors. Now, the last category of unique skins is pretty much self-explanatory. These are all skins that we have never seen before, with entirely new silhouettes. Recolors, on the other hand, are skins that we have seen before, just with a new coat of paint. And in this category, Lucio reigns supreme, with 6 recolors. Oh, and Mercy's also here too. However, unlike Mercy, who has all of her recolors be legendary, 2 of Lucio's recolors are epics. Remember how I said it feels like Lucio's been getting more skins recently? This is where the bulk of them come from, and we'll find that out later. Behind Lucio and Mercy, we have Ana, with 4 legendary recolors and 1 epic recolor. Kiriko trails behind her with 3 legendary recolors, and everyone else has at least 1 legendary recolor. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to count the All-Star Stadium skin for Judo a recolor, but just in case, I threw it in the spreadsheet. Combining the last 2 sections, we can see that Kiriko still reigns supreme with 23 skins in total. Now I must mention again that majority of these skins are legendary. Mercy is the only other hero with 20 plus skins, however she just barely made it with 21. For third, it's a three-way tie with Ana, Lifeweaver, and Lucio. However, where Kiriko and Mercy were close together, these are not, as they all have 15 in total. Zenyatta follows them at 14, Moira with 13, Brigitte and Iari at 11, Baptiste with 8 skins, and Judo with 6 skins. I'm still not sure if I want to count the stadium skin, so going forward, I'm not going to include that in my data. I understand that Kiriko and Mercy are fan favorites, and I do understand that they are supposed to get more skins than the others, but I wasn't expecting that sheer drop off. While Mercy trails behind Kiriko by 2 skins, Ana, Lifeweaver, and Lucio trail behind her by 6, which in total means that they trail behind Kiriko by 8, which is such a huge number they can fit all of the Baptiste skins in there. Up next is our collaboration tab, and right here is where you can see why people complain about Kiriko getting skins all the time, as she has 6 in total. She was part of the first ever collab with One Punch Man, and she also has 2 Le Seraphim skins. Her other 3 involve My Hero Academia, Avatar, and Street Fighter 6. Now, I'm not entirely sure how chronically online you are as the viewer, but if you were on Twitter during the time of the Avatar and the Street Fighter 6 collabs, you know it was not a pretty sight. This is around the time where Kiriko skin debates really started popping off in my opinion, especially during the Avatar one, considering that Korra wasn't even invited. Behind Kiriko's big greedy ass is Zenyatta and Judo, who are tied for second with 3 collaborations apiece. Zenyatta was a part of World of Warcraft, Avatar, and Street Fighter 6, while Juno was a part of My Hero Academia, Le Seraphim, and Street Fighter 6 as well. If you flip the numbers around, we actually have Brigitte, Iari, and Mercy tied for third with 2 collab skins. Brig has the Le Seraphim plus Blue Flame recolors, Iari was a part of the Transformers collab, as well as the most recent wave of Le Seraphim skins. And Mercy was also a part of the most recent Le Seraphim skins, as well as Gundam. Sitting all the way at the bottom is Moira with her Lone Diablo skin, which released back in Season 7. Our final category for this chart is Last Unique Legendary. This goes over the last unique legendary that a hero has received, plus the one before that. Of the 11 support heroes, 7 of them have gotten a skin in Season 16, and of the 7 heroes, all of them have gotten a skin pretty recently before that too, going no farther back than Season 14. Iari, Juno, Kiriko, and Mercy all received a skin in Season 15, while Brigitte, Lifeweaver, and Zenyatta all had their most recent one in Season 14. Moira trails right behind them, their last unique legendary being Season 15, and before that Season 14. Going past this though, it's a little bit heartbreaking if you ask me. The last season Ana got a unique legendary was Season 13, and before that Season 12. Which is not that bad, but I feel like she can use a new skin sometime soon. That just leaves Baptiste and Lucio, and Baptiste Nation, I'm sorry. The last unique legendary skin Baptiste had was back in Season 10 as part of the Battle Pass. The last skin before that was in Season 8, which you can't even get anymore outside of loot boxes because it was part of Winterfest. Speaking of Season 8, that was the last unique legendary we got for Lucio, and the last one before that was in Season 5. Just to show how long it's been since Lucio's gotten a unique legendary skin, here are some of the things that have happened within that time span. There have been multiple maps which have been reworked, we've had an entire game mode be added and then subsequently removed from competitive, 4 new heroes, and stadium. I'm not entirely sure why Lucio's gone this long without a skin, but it's honestly kinda heartbreaking. Considering the fact that one of your most popular streamers is a Lucio player, the fact that they haven't gotten a unique legendary skin in about a year and a half, it just doesn't sit right. With that chart out of the way, we can move on to our next section. For our next chart, we have skin averages, and this is broken up into 3 categories. Average time in between unique skins, regardless of rarity, average time in between unique legendary skins, and average time in between skins in general. To start things off, you can already see that Kiriko is winning this section, as her average time in between skins is 0.8 seasons. Lifeweaver is not too far behind, with an average time of 0.92 seasons. Remember that rule in the beginning where I said I only count a hero from the season they're released? This is where that comes in. As while Kiriko's time was averaged between 16 seasons, Lifeweaver's only averaged in between 13. The next hero is Judo, who accounts for 1 skin per season, and that's accounting for 5 seasons. Mercy has an average time of 1.07 seasons, while Iari is at 1.1 even, accounting for 11 seasons in Season 6. I'm saying season so many times in this section. Zenyatta and Moira continue to show me that they get a lot more skins than I remember, as they show up at 1.23 and 1.33 respectively. After this, there is a huge jump in average, as Ana and Brigitte are tied at 1.6, while Lucio is at 1.78. This just leaves poor old Baptiste with an average time of 2.28 seasons, the only hero to break that so far. Now for average time between unique legendary skins, it only really gets worse for Baptiste. In this category, Baptiste is such an outlier that he beats the second closest hero, which spoiler alert is Lucio, by well over a season. Average time for Baptiste in here? 5.3 seasons. For reference, you get about 6 seasons a year. And at the time of recording this, it's been almost a year since Bap has received a legendary skin. As I said earlier, Lucio is the next closest hero, who has an average wait time of 4 seasons. The next hero after Lucio is Ana, with an average time of about 3.2. Outside of these 3, the average wait time for a unique legendary doesn't even break 2.5 seasons. Brig is the only one that actually gets close to this, as her average time is 2.28 seasons, while Moira is right behind her with an even 2. Light Fever has an average time of 1.62 seasons, and Mercy and Zenyatta are right behind him with 1.6. And right behind them is Ayari with 1.57 seasons. This leaves Juno and Kiriko have an average time in between unique legendary skins of just 1 season. As I said, this is only accounting for 5 seasons for Juno and 16 for Kiriko. Not gonna lie, watching Juno become Kiriko 2.0 really sucks as a Juno main. For our last category of average time in between skins in general, we can continue to point and laugh or point and sob at Baptiste, as his average time is 2 seasons and he's the only one that's this high. Brig's average time is 1.45 seasons, and that's the closest we'll ever get. Moira is right behind her at 1.33. Rounding up the heroes have to wait more than a season for a skin on average. We have Zenyatta who comes in at 1.14, and Lucio and Ana tied for 1.06. 2 heroes that also tie are Yari and Juno, who have an average time of 1 season even. The 3 heroes with that average time below 1 season are the usual suspects at this point. Light Fever with 0.86, Mercy with 0.76, and Kiriko with a 0.69. I would say nice, but it's gotten to a point, to be honest. Just to reiterate, if you have an average time below 1 season, that means that you're getting 2 or more skins a season. In the case of Kiriko, because her average is so low, that means that there have been multiple seasons where she gets at least 2 skins. And in season 15, she actually got 3. With the averages out of the way, we have our next table. Our next table is skin droughts, and this is broken up into 4 different categories. Longest droughts in between legendary skins, longest drought in between unique legendary skins, longest drought in between skins in general, and seasons without skins. For longest drought in between legendary skins, this actually isn't won by Baptiste, as Ana and Moira are tied for 5 seasons each. Ana having a drought going from season 7 to season 11, and Moira having a drought going from season 9 to season 13. Rick and Zenyatta are only 1 season behind them, as Rick had away from season 8 to season 11, and Zenyatta had away from season 6 to season 9. Baptiste, Light Fever, Lucio, and Mercy all had away to 3 seasons, Yara and Kiriko had their longest drought of 2 seasons, and Juno of course had her 1 season. Going in reverse order for longest drought between unique legendary skins, Juno had to wait out her 1 season, while Laurie and Kiriko had to wait 2 seasons. Kiriko's actually done this twice, from season 4 to season 5, and from season 8 to season 9. Light Fever and Mercy had a drought for 3 seasons. Mercy had a streak twice, going from season 2 to season 4, and from season 9 to season 11. Brick and Zenyatta had a drought of 4 seasons, while Ana and Moira had a drought of 5. Once again, we have the sad case of Baptiste and Lucio, as not only are they at the top of the leaderboard for longest drought in between unique legendary skins, these droughts are currently ongoing, with Baptiste having a wait of 6+ seasons, and Lucio having a wait of 8+ seasons. Here's to hoping that Bap and Lucio get at least something in season 17 that isn't a recolor. For longest drought in between skins in general, a lot of the heroes actually only have a drought of 1 season. Because I'm noting each instance this drought has happened, it's worth noting that Laurie's had this drought for 3 seasons, Light Fever's had it for 4, and Zenyatta has had it 5 times. Ana, Brig, and Mercy have had a drought of 2 seasons, with Ana having this twice. Baptiste has had a drought of 3 seasons, and Moira actually still has the longest drought with 5 seasons. For a category of seasons without skins, this is exactly what it sounds like, as I'm just going over every season where a hero didn't get one. Surprise, surprise, Baptiste is at the top of this list. As of the current 16 seasons that we have in Overwatch, he has gone 9 seasons without them. That's over half the amount of time that Overwatch 2 has been out. In stark contrast, the only season where Kiriko didn't get a skin was in season 4. The hero with the second most amount of seasons without a skin is Moira at 7, Ana is 6 for 16, while Brig and Zenyatta are both 5 for 16. The final 2 heroes that have been part of Overwatch 2 since day 1 are Lucio and Mercy. Of the 16 seasons, Lucio has gone 4 for 16, while Mercy has gone 3 for 16. This just leaves the heroes that have been added after Overwatch 2's debut. Of the 13 seasons that Light Fever has been in the game, he has 4 seasons where he has gotten a skin, and of the 11 that Ayari has been part of the game, she's only had 2 seasons. Once again, of the 5 that Juno has been part of the game, she's only had her debut season where she didn't get a skin. We are almost done with this, as we only have one more chart to look at. For skin streaks, this just goes over the opposite of skin droughts, and this is broken into 3 categories. Longest streak of legendary skins, longest streak of unique legendary skins, and longest streak of skins in general. For longest streak of legendary skins, we actually have 4 heroes that have been on an ongoing streak. Light Fever has had this streak going on ever since season 14, Judo has had hers going on ever since season 13, and Brig and Mercy have both had their streak going on ever since season 12. This leaves, you guessed it, Kiriko, who has had a streak of legendary skins starting all the way in season 10. The rest of the hero streaks have all already happened. Yara and Zenyatta have had streaks of 3 seasons where they got legendary skins, while Ana, Lucio, and Moira have had streaks that have gone 2 seasons. Lucio has had this streak 3 times, going from season 4 to season 5, season 8 to season 9, and from season 13 to season 14. This just leaves Baptiste, whose longest streak has only been a season. Season 4, season 8, season 10, and season 14. For longest streak of unique legendary skins, Mercy and Juno are the only ones that actually keep their streak from the previous category. Brig and Kiriko had their streaks broken up by recolors. Outside of Mercy, Kiriko still has the longest streak of 4, go from Season 10 to Season 13. Yara and Zenyatta are next, as they had a streak of 3 seasons at one point. Ana, Brig, Lifeweaver, Lucio, and Moira have all had streaks of 2 seasons. Once again, this just leaves Bap with a streak of 1, except we have to take off a season because Season 14 was a recolor. For longest streaks in skins in general, Kiriko is the only one with a double-digit streak, starting all the way from Season 5. Mercy and Lucio are the next closest heroes, but their streak are half of what Kiriko's is, at 6+ seasons, starting all the way in Season 11. Brig has had a streak starting all the way in Season 12, and Juno obviously has hers from Season 13. Ana has the highest non-ongoing streak with 6 seasons. Iyari, Lifeweaver, and Moira have had streaks of 4 seasons, and Zenyatta has had 3 season streaks twice, going from Season 3 to Season 5, and from Season 10 to Season 12. All the way at the bottom, once again, is Baptiste, who actually has a streak of 2 seasons, going from Season 3 to Season 4. Finally, we are done with all this data. 14 minutes of just talking straight numbers, but what conclusion can we draw from this? The first conclusion that we could draw from this is that Kiriko is obviously the most spoiled support in this game. She has the highest total of skins, she has the highest amount of collaboration skins, her averages compared to everyone else are extremely low, and the last season where she didn't get a skin was all the way in Season 4, which coincidentally was the last time that Baptiste has ever had a shop skin. Speaking of Baptiste, in contrast to Kiriko, we can see that he has a support that they just sort of forgotten. Whereas Kiriko's averages were much lower than everyone else, Baptiste's are sky high. Once again, I just want to state that it has been almost a year since Scorpion has dropped, and it's been over 2 years since Bounty Hunter has dropped. The most recent skin you're able to buy for Baptiste was just a recolor of an Overwatch 1 skin, which to be honest, probably is his best Overwatch 1 skin if you ask me, as it's the only one that I rock, but I just don't like the color scheme. On the topic of recolors, can we get Lucio something unique? 40% of Lucio's skins are recolors, and while Mercy has the exact same amount of recolors, those are only 28%. Lucio has the same amount of recolors as Kiriko has collaboration skins, and even then she has him beat. Out of the 6 recolors that Lucio has had in Overwatch 2, 2 of them are epics, whereas out of the 6 collaboration skins that Kiriko has, only 1 of them is an epic. Another point that we can draw from this is that Judo is slowly becoming Kiriko 2.0. I know this is a bit of a bad point to make, considering that Judo is also the most recent support hero that we've gotten, and for all we know, she could be going on the Baptiste level streak of just getting nothing in the next couple of seasons. But for the seasons that Juno has been in the game, she has gotten a lot of cosmetics. Of the 7 support heroes to have gotten collaboration skins, she is tied for 2nd with Zenyatta. But whereas Kiriko has only been out for just under a year, Zenyatta has been in the game ever since day 1. And that's not just day 1 of Overwatch 2, that's day 1 of Overwatch in general. Hey, editing Juve here. This is me like an hour before this video goes up. And I'm just doing a couple finishing touches, and I don't know if you noticed, but I was talking about Juno, and I said Kiriko's name. If that doesn't prove my point that Juno is just becoming, like, the next, like, the second coming of Christ in terms of, like, being Kiriko, I don't know what is, and I'm not going to re-record this because I wanted this video out by at least 8 p.m., which hopefully it does. So, I'll just let the rest of the video play out now. Now, obviously, this is just counting Overwatch 2, as if I counted all the Overwatch 1 skins, Kiriko would obviously still be at the top, but it wouldn't be that much of a far-gone conclusion. Going into this, I had a feeling that heroes like Kiriko, Lifeweaver, Mercy, Judo were all gonna have like pretty high numbers, but the amount of skins that Moira and Zenyatta have gotten were honestly kind of a shock to me, and I didn't quite realize that they had gotten this many skins until I started doing research for this. Now, I have seen a lot of points as to why certain heroes get more skins than others, and the main one that I keep on seeing is that they're just gonna make skins of the fan favorites just to make more money. And with that, I totally agree, that is a valid point. Outside of competitive players who want to play test your strength with your monitor after getting their ult cancelled by Suzu, Kiriko is pretty popular among casual fans. Whereas heroes such as Baptiste and Lucio might have a dedicated fan base, it's nowhere near as much as Kiriko, or Judo and Mercy for that matter. However, how are we supposed to know that Lucio isn't that much of a moneymaker if he doesn't get skins to begin with? His last unique legendary skin that we were able to buy in the shop was all the way in Season 5, and ever since then, it's just been recolors. I'm not sure how well those recolors are selling, but they're obviously doing enough for them to keep on making them. The only thing I'm asking at this point is to just give each hero a chance to make money. If Overwatch devs make a Baptiste skin and they sell like 10 of them in the shop, then I guess that kind of proves the point, but how are we supposed to know that these heroes aren't going to make that much money if you don't even give them the chance to make that money in the first place? One more thing I want to point out is that while I did drag on Kiriko for the amount of skins that she's gotten compared to everyone else, that doesn't exactly mean that all of her skins are bad. Outside of her collab skins, She does have a decent catalog of skins that are original concepts. I find myself using Yatakarasu, Lifeguard, and K2000 Blade Master a lot whenever I'm not using her Himigo Toga skin. And this goes for all the other heroes that I mentioned have a lot of skins. Just because I ragged on them for how much they got, doesn't mean I don't like the skins or that the skins are bad themselves. Whether that's Bursting, her Rainy Day skin, Life Fever and his Arrow skin, or just any other hero. They all have really good skins, it's just a matter that I want the distribution to be a bit more even. Once again, this video just started because Kiriko got a lot of skins, and I statistically want to find out how much she had board compared to everyone else. And to be honest, I might just do this video for tanks and DPS. If the idea to do this video but with DPS and tanks sounds interesting to you, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so I know to spend at least 12 hours doing this for DPS. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.